Hey, how you doing? Pull up a chair, pour yourself a coffee, crack up on a cold one, or maybe you're listening on your way to work before the rest of the world wakes up. Therefore, the coffee is probably better than the cold one. However you found us, I'm glad you're here. I've been thinking a lot about what Letdown After Dark is supposed to be. There's thousands of podcasts out here, hunting podcasts, archery podcasts, outdoor podcasts, shows that teach you how to tune a bow, pattern a shotgun, call a turkey, or kill a bigger buck. Those shows are important, very important. That's never really been what I wanted this to be. To me, the best part of hunting has never been the shot. It isn't the grip and grin photos. It isn't the score. It's what happens afterward. It's a conversation with the campfire. It's sitting in the garage, putting arrows back together. It's a drive home after a long day in the woods. It's the stories that somehow start with deer hunting. 20 minutes later, you're talking about family, growing older, mistakes you've made, and people you've lost, and the lessons life has taught us along the way. Those are the conversations I remember, and those are the conversations I would love to capture. Hunting, archery, fishing, they're just excuses. The real story has always been the people. Over the last year, this podcast has introduced me to some incredible individuals, world champions, outfitters, guides, conservationists, volunteers, people who have dedicated their lives to the outdoors. And I've realized something. The people I admire the most really talk about themselves. They talk about what they've learned. They talk about the people who helped them. They talk about the mistakes they made. And somehow in those conversations, you realize they're not really talking about hunting anymore. They're talking about life. That's what I hope the Letdown After Dark becomes. Not another interview, not another podcast. Just a place where good people can sit down, slow down, and have the kinds of conversations that seem to be disappearing from our lives. If you're listening tonight while you're driving, or on your way to work, or sitting in your garage, or you're working the late shift, maybe getting your gear ready for another season, I hope you feel like you're sitting right here with us, because that's exactly how I want this to feel, like another chair around the fire. Tonight's conversation is a little different. Deer season is still a few months away, but if you're a hunter, your mind is probably already there. You're thinking about trail cameras. You're wondering where that buck from last year disappeared to. Maybe you're tuning broadheads. Maybe you're getting your bow ready. I know I am. Or maybe you're just counting down the days until the first cool October morning. So tonight, we're sitting down with our friend Dale Martin to talk about all of it. Summer scouting, trail cameras, setting up a hunting bow, ethics, the lessons that only years in the woods can teach. So wherever you're listening, welcome to the fire. I'm Chris LaFleur, and this is the Letdown After Dark. Welcome to the Letdown After Dark. Alrighty, so how's it going tonight, gentlemen?
Not bad, you?
Pretty good.
It's going.
I was out at the range getting eaten alive by mosquitoes, so
Nice. It just started pouring around like 5 o'clock here.
really hasn't stopped?
Sort of spitting now, but
Okay,
my power went off
boy.
for a little bit.
Mm.
So
You should really get a generator or something, Misha.
if only I had the money.
Yeah.
Always comes down to money.
Mhm.
Which is why I like spending it on dumb shit.
Yeah.
Like Matthews.
Like this.
Wow. Boy. Oh, dear.
Oh, geez.
Is that a new hinge?
Yeah, it's the Hinge 3.
Very nice.
Yeah. It is very nice, actually. I have to go back to the D mods if I want to use it, because they have the shorter neck.
Okay.
On it's like a quarter-inch shorter, and then I have to adjust my peep sight. So I'll be stopping off at Evolve Archery on Sunday.
I think we're gonna have Dale talk about some bow tuning and everything too. So today, at least
Lucky me.
For a hunting bow, anyways.
I can't help you how to tune a Matthews. I've shot Bowtech for way too long. I don't know the new stuff.
All right, I guess I'm on my own for that one.
I can tell you how to twist yokes if that helps you.
It does actually. It does. That's what Matthews has. So, all right, we'll get into it. So we're kind of in the middle of the summer here, but if you're a deer hunter, your mind is already in the fall. Whether you're hanging trail cameras, turning broadheads, or just daydreaming about the first cool morning in the stand, this is the time of year the excitement starts to build. So, what's everyone doing to prepare for whitetail season this fall, aside from getting tags? Because that's all I've done so far.
Not a whole lot right now.
Yeah, I put my cameras up probably the 1st of August.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, you start throwing them out, pending weather and everything like that. I'm kind of picky when I put my cameras out. So
You sell cams?
in certain areas, yeah. If it's road or field edge, a lot of times I'll just run a normal camera because I can get to it easily. But any place that I don't want to go into is a cell.
Yeah, I gotta do that. I have just the SD card ones right now. I have one still out there that I left out there after turkey season. I kind of just forgot to go get it.
Mhm.
So it's probably got about 20,000 photos on it now.
All the
This
blue
point-
jays and everything landing on it, looking at the red
Yeah.
dot.
Yeah. No, it sit over a scrape, so
Mm,
it's
mhm.
got it's not almost only I've seen deer on there, not even raccoons or anything.
Nice.
So I don't know, they were scraping away at during turkey season.
Oh yeah, they do
It's
it all
a
year. It isn't
community
just a
scrape.
fall thing.
Yeah.
Interesting. That I did not know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
It's
stumbled upon it one day. Wasn't even looking. I just stumbled upon it. I looked down. I'm like, oh, look at that. There's seems to be a little scrape here. And then I look up. There's a broken branch hanging down. I'm like, yeah. All
mhm.
right. I'll set a camera up right here.
Is it field edge or about 50 yards off?
More like 150.
Okay. Yeah. I would much rather hunt an interior scrape than field
Mhm.
edge.
Yeah, that's where I hunted over most of the late fall season because that's when I stumbled upon it. Was late fall.
Get there early this year.
I'm going to.
No, so that guy, he was shot over a community scrape. And it's just a big scrape that is open year round and everything goes and checks it out. And yeah, I was hunting over that and that was October 7th. And yeah, I grunted and shook some leaves like I was making a scrape and he walked right in. So
Good tactics.
yeah,
Yeah, I
grunting
got
isn't
to
just for
figure all
smart.
that out.
So that's what we have Dale here for today. Maybe teach us some stuff.
Dale's gonna learn you guys a few things.
Because I know I know absolutely nothing about whitetail hunting except for the thousands of YouTube videos I found with conflicting information and what have you. So
Mm.
Again, when we talk about beginning deer hunting, I like Dale. When do you actually start big into your scouting?
So like I said, I'll start putting my cameras out probably the first of the month of August there, and then mid-August I'll start going up and watching properties and actually putting eyes on the property from afar. Uh, and then even before that I'm checking out where the crops are, like what crops are where, because they're going to be in the beans in the late summer, early fall, and yeah, you just take all that into the Rolodex and
Can you
continue on.
can you do too much scouting?
It depends on what scouting. So I kind of have certain ways that I break down a property. So the first two ways I do it is from either the road or Google. So it's never going on the property the first time. I leave that as a very last thing, really, especially if it's going towards the season. Yeah, I'm looking at Google, seeing pinch points where I'll pick 5, 6, 10 things that I want to check on the property. If I can, I'll take the four-wheeler and drive the property. Walking on the property is kind of my last resort. If I do walk on the property, a lot of times I actually put the cameras out. I do it right before a storm, so that way all my scent is washed away. So Misha, when it's raining, get out there.
Yeah, I'll plan on it this year.
Yeah,
I got
it does.
there's a lot of oak trees around there, so acorns, lots of acorns.
Mhm.
The field, I don't think they planted anything on it. It's just tall grass right now. But there's fields adjacent, all northwest, east, and south of me. So
Mhm.
it's like there's food all over the place for them.
Yeah,
But
but they like the acorns.
I
Like
know.
the ground forage that'll trump everything really. Depend on a certain time of year. So
Yeah, like the amount of deer tracks I've seen just along the tree edges and stuff is insane.
Mhm.
It's like a super highway for them right there. It's like an all-you-can-eat buffet of acorns, and they love it. And there's a pond on the property, so that's where they get their water from. It's the only water source, so they stick around there.
Nice. Yeah, that's a really good spot to be hanging, especially if it's a hot October.
I know. I have to figure out the proper days to go because I definitely went out one way too early and way too often last year.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a
Yeah,
big
pick your
problem.
days. Like so, there's a lot I go into looking at when I'm hunting or where I'm hunting and stuff like that. But barometric pressure, moon, and wind are probably my big three. If I can get a rising barometric or barometer into the 30s, I like that. Misty rain, especially in the rut. Yeah, you just pick your days and
moving around. There was this one day. There was this one day that I went out and I was like, okay, I'll set up in this spot, but then I changed my mind last minute and I went to a different spot. And then I had a camera set up at the original spot that I was going to go to. And it started snowing like really hard. And I was like, hey, well, I'm cold. I'm going to go home. So I went home and then I took the camera the next day and there was probably a very nice 9-point that walked right in front of my camera, right where I was going to set up, probably 45 minutes after I left.
geez.
And it was just like almost a blizzard.
Yeah, but that's when they like moving.
I know. I was like, fuck
Just-
sakes.
Just because you're cold doesn't mean he's not cold either. So he's going to get up out of his bed and be like, well, I'm going to go out there and, warm up a bit.
Yeah, I was freezing. My toes were frozen. And yeah.
Dress better, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take your slippers next time.
Take your
The fuzzy slippers, the pink fuzzy slippers.
So now you're I guess you're because you're kind of hunting the same area, like a pretty you have like an established area. But what if you were to let's say I called you up one day and say, hey, I got this new farm or whatever, I've never been on it, and what would you say to a person who's looking at that, like what do you look for on Google and what do you look for from the road and that sort of thing when you're looking at a new property, and when would you start that new property?
As soon as possible, really. One of my all-time favorite times to look at a property and you get a lot of information is right after the snow's gone. Because when I'm shed hunting, you can see the trails, you can see the old scrapes and rubs and everything, and you don't have to worry about pushing the deer out. So that's the perfect time. Like if you have Onyx or Hunt Stand or whatever, walk the trails and put the follow me feature on it, so you can look at your app afterwards and know exactly where all those trails are. And yeah, but yeah, if I got it today, I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna look at the road, off the road, see what I can see for one. Just try and get some numbers. And the thing is, you're not when you're scouting from the road, you're not just looking at your property. You're looking at that whole block because the deer are gonna move everywhere in that concession. So don't be afraid to. Well, there's no beans on my property, but the far corner there's beans. Go watch that. Obviously don't trespass, but yeah, go watch from the road. And then, if you do have the beans, then walk around and see, you're going to see where they have been foraging. You'll see the tips cut off and stuff like that. And you'll see a pattern. So that's a good spot to kind of start and put your cameras up. Then it's just connecting dots from there, and the more information you can have on a property, the better, obviously. But yeah, take notes. And
now, I could think this is, for me, this is excuse me, this is a kind of an interesting topic. Is and I don't know how much public land you've hunted, like public versus private land. Like, what strategies would a guy like for me? I'm around here. It's basically, if I'm going to hunt, it's going to be public. Because there's not a lot of and most of the farms they have like a lot of hunters on them already or what have you. So how do you tackle like a public parcel?
kind of the same way, if you're going to scout it, get out, walk it. The nice thing with public land is typically there's more people walking it. So walking through the property, you're not going to do as much damage. Where, on Farmer Joe's farm, that, he probably doesn't walk anywhere except for when he's haying or something, you walking through there, it's going to alarm the deer that there's humans there. But yeah, for public land, go out, find your pinch points, find your spots that it is a little bit harder to get to. Yeah, I've hunted public land a few times and shot pretty decent deer on public land. And I like hunting public land. Josh and I we were on there a couple of times, or one year, he won't like this, but he missed an 8-pointer. And it was on public land. We grunted it in, and I'd actually passed up another 8, a little bit smaller than this guy, that morning, and said to him, hey, come on up. We'll see if we can rattle this deer back in. And yeah, it was a smaller 8, but
he missed.
Yeah, I think his button caught his collar or something, and when he went to come back, but yeah,
it happens, man. It's
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was earlier in his, hunting career when he started hunting with me. So he's came a long way since then.
Yeah, I'm sure he's made up for it multiple times.
Yeah, he's got a pretty nice deer on the wall.
And then for last, and this is mostly because I'm selfish and I do a lot of hunting in Northern Ontario. Are there any different strategies? Is like I I know guys who hunt up there. They get some pretty big bucks up
Mhm.
in Northern Ontario. And I guess the issue there is it's just so much land to cover, right? And there's a number of them up there. It's just how do you figure out where they are and how do you figure out where to set, that sort of thing.
I don't know. I haven't hunted a lot up there. But with the north, it's finding the food.
Okay.
If you can find the food, you're going to find the deer. And the food doesn't change per year. So, the oak groves, the apple trees, stuff like that, you have to hunt the food. Yeah, because they don't really have, a whole lot of cornfields up there, and it's like that. In Ontario, you can throw bait and stuff like that. You can do food plots, that would all bring in deer, I would assume, especially in the later season.
Okay. All right. We kind of started talking about trail cameras, but and I know you were saying you run some cells and some just the regular SDs.
Mhm.
Uh, did I guess just cell cameras would be worth it in certain spots where you don't want to disturb the area too often,
Mhm.
that sort of thing, right? So and then like how do you kind of pick those spots, like where because it's
Um,
deeper or it's less traveled
yeah,
or
so I try not to like my one good property. I have kind of a no-go zone in the early season. I won't dive right into the swamp. So I'll go in and throw some cameras on spots where I've seen intersecting trails and everything like that in the spring, and I'll throw stuff up there. Yeah, and otherwise I just stay out of there until the rut, and yeah, try and give them a bedroom that they can feel comfortable in. Don't just go tromping through the whole property. If you
right.
can give them the back corner, give it to them. So.
What do you think the biggest mistakes people make when using their trail cams?
Um, Probably putting them too low. I don't really want to put them right in front of the deer's face. Yeah, you get great pictures of them, but they're not stupid. They notice things like that, and the big bucks won't stick around. So I typically put them my head height or a little bit above, and I have the HME camera mount, so I'll tip them down. And yeah, I don't see as many deer looking at my cameras doing that. So, and with the size I am, a lot of people can't reach those cameras, so it's a safety thing, or a security thing.
Luckily, no one really trespasses on the property that I am on, so
Mm.
it's all right. Except this one time, there seemed to be a woman in a plaid shirt walking in the bush, and I'm like, "What are you doing here?" Because
Got
one, the
whitetails.
nearest house is probably a kilometer down the road. Like, what are you doing here? So I was like,
She,
"Do I bring it up to the landowner?" Or
she
so
was
I
out there
did.
looking for you, Misha. You just
Yeah,
weren't there.
the thing, like she walked right, like directly at the camera, but like never once saw it because I had it on video mode too. So it's like
So
she didn't even notice.
my wife's favorite trail camera pictures. I've hunted some Mennonite properties, and they didn't know what they were. So anyway, I have pictures of little Mennonite kids snot rolling down their face, and they're just like this, looking at them, and I'm rolling because like it was a cell camera too. So
Yeah,
I'm getting them like every 30 minutes, and it's just these kids stand there it was like 20 minutes. They stood in front of this camera. And yeah, it was pretty funny.
I had a few set up on like the trail edge or the field edge there, and the landowner likes to go for walks here and there,
Hmm.
like around the field edge, and whenever they have friends over, they'll go for a walk, and there's this, like, I don't know, maybe 10-year-old kid stood right in front of it and just lifted his shirt up and then stuck out his tongue and gave me a middle finger. Just there's like 3 separate photos. One's the shirt up, the other one's sticking out his tongue, the other one's just a middle finger. I'm like, "What the fuck?" I appreciate it.
Well, yeah, you could have done a lot worse.
Could've. Yeah.
Yeah, it really sucks when people spray paint them.
They open them up or whatever and leave them opened up. I've had that.
Yeah.
I've had a few moose ones that they've done that too. So
They open it up to look at what pictures you got.
yeah, and they don't close it back up. They just leave it open.
Yeah.
Well, at least they didn't take them, I guess. But yeah, these were sell ones. So
There was a time where this was at my dad's property, and I had a camera out, and I think at the end of the day, I went and checked the camera just to see if there was anything on there, and then hunted that weekend, and I go back to check the camera, and I see there's a hunter on it, and I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? It was me. I spent like a good 10 minutes like trying to fucking recognize who this guy was. It was me.
What would have made that even better, Misha, is if you would have posted on Facebook asking, who is this guy and why is he on my property?
I've only seen this guy.
Property.
Who's this ugly motherfucker on my property?
Who is this fat fuck on my property? Jesus.
No,
He
thanks.
even has the same bow as me.
He even has the same bow. Yeah.
Oh god.
Good thing you're not blonde, buddy.
Yeah. Oh
So,
shit.
I don't know. What do you guys think? Does all this technology make us better hunters, or does it make it less woodsmen? Are we lesser woodsmen?
Lesser woodsman? No, because you still need to know where to put them up. Like scouting's still important. You can't just put it up in the middle of the forest and expect to see stuff.
Yeah.
So you have to know what you're looking for and looking to put the camera on.
It definitely gives you a helping hand. Like for the people that are just getting into it, yeah, this is a lot easier time to get into hunting than when I was a kid.
Mhm.
So,
And you don't even have to get the most expensive cameras. Just get like there's like a 2-pack of the muddy cameras, the SD cards. I run them.
I've got 12 of them.
Yeah, they're great. They're like $80 for a 2-pack, which is really good for cell cam pricing. And then just go out, scout, find a spot, put them out, and then come back like 2 weeks later and see what you got. If you got nothing, find another spot.
PV Mart, when we were going out of business, they had 2 packs on for $50.
There you go.
So hence why I've got so many.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
They work, and it definitely tells you like what's out there, right? Like,
well, yeah,
because you like all these deer tracks that I'm seeing, probably 80% of them are does. So it's like I wouldn't know that without the cameras, right? But the bucks that do come by, I know where they are, and I know that there are some there, and I know what time they come by, which makes it easier.
That's fair.
Yeah, typically, I don't really worry about where the bucks are until like mid-September, because that's all going to change. Like if you see deer in August and stuff like that, realistically, those bucks aren't going to be on your property, once the season starts. Or if they are, that's great. But at any of the properties I have, a lot of times I'm not seeing my bucks until right before the season.
Yep. I didn't see the one big 10-pointer I had until late October. Never saw him until then. So he came from somewhere else, and he stuck around. He was coming around all the way until the end of the season.
Yeah.
But the ones that I had in August fucked off. They went somewhere else. There was one that had like a paddle as an antler. It was weird. It was like it looked about like it was 2 inches like wide, but it was really thin. I saw that. And I was like, that's really odd.
It drove me nuts for years until I figured that out, because I'd have these really nice deer on camera every year, and then they'd just go away. And I'd be like, what am I doing wrong? Like they'd be, into my food plots, into my bait, everything, and just gone. But then it's like, oh, well, where did this deer come from?
Then they know Dale Martin's in the area. They're running away. The other guys, on the other hand, no idea.
I guess the other argument too is a lot of people make is the it's always an ethical argument, right, about technology and using it, and it gives you an unfair advantage. And
we've always used technology. It's just advanced.
Yeah, I agree. But from the other side, like when I can kind of see it from the other side. I kind of understand what they're saying, but it's this whole it's the whole idea of fairness. Like, what does that really even mean, right? We're not really playing a game. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a game between me and the animal. We're there to do a not necessarily a job, but yes, and we're having fun doing it. But it's we're there to take a life and feed our family, right? So
I mean, you could be like a trad bow guy and shit on people for using compound bows.
I totally
Yeah,
agree.
Well, that's not a real bow. Use a real bow. Take that sight off of there and make your own arrows. Then that's a real man, real hunter right there. And they still use trail cams. It's like contradicting yourself.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah. But again, like I said, I always want to look at the other side too, just to try to understand their point of view.
Mhm.
But
I think it's gonna come to a spot that it's gonna be kind of put to a plateau. What we're gonna be allowed to use, like, yeah, trail cameras, the cell cameras are great. They've already said no to the drones.
right.
They've, there's a point that they have to say no because it is gonna be too easy.
I think the drones is definitely too much.
Yeah.
Like
Now,
that's
for deer, for learning about deer in like a biologist standpoint, 100%, it's amazing the stuff that they've learned from them.
Mhm.
But as a hunter, like, you shouldn't be able to fly your drone over your field to scout your deer.
yeah, no. You should have to go in there and find everything yourself. But how do you feel about people using drones to retrieve the deer that they shot that they lost?
I feel like it's a good idea that way because I don't like to see deer going to waste or any animal at that point. It's just monitoring that and stopping it from being used for bad. Like, the guys that say, "Oh, well, I think I got them," and they just have them out to find that big deer for them. Points like that. That hunter should not be allowed to hunt for 2-3 weeks. If you do bring the drone in, that should be something that you're
Yeah,
not allowed
I
to do.
think it should go, obviously look for as long as you possibly can,
Mhm.
and then go dogs, and then last resort would be a drone.
Yeah.
But you'd have to prove to the drone operator that you've got him or that you have shot him, which would be either find the original blood trail or, give him a bloody arrow, one or the other,
Mhm.
just to show that you actually did shoot one,
Yeah, yeah,
right? Because
'cause
if it's a bad shot, they can go fucking far.
forever.
Yeah.
Like, you one on a deer, he can live for the rest of his life. Like, he can live for a couple of years after that. Yeah, they're hardy little buggers. Like, the first deer I ever shot with a bow, I lost it. I hit it in no man's land over the lungs, and yeah, I seen it the next night walking out in the alfalfa field like it was nothing.
Yep, they are strong. There's one I saw a video. This guy shot a deer, and he walked up to it, and its antlers were like its skull was broken.
Mhm.
It broke its antler off, but like at the skull fractured during like a fight with another buck.
Yeah.
And it was walking around before he shot it with Leo, like nothing happened.
So his pinnacle was broken off.
Yeah, but it was like the skull was moving. Like it wasn't just
Mm.
the pinnacle.
Mhm.
Like he was moving and like it was moving down near its eyebrow. And so it's like how are you alive?
Yeah.
Like, it's
Wow.
crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah. He had a headache. I know that.
That's for sure.
Sheesh. But yeah,
On that interesting note.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Actually, this is the geek in me. So actually, with the pinnacles, if you see a deer or a shed that you've picked up and it has like a shard kind of coming off the bottom of the pinnacle where it's shedded hard, a lot of times that deer will grow back a bit non-typical the next year.
Interesting.
It is.
I've actually this year was the first year that or no. Yeah, no, this year was the first year I found a deadhead.
That's actually lucky.
Yeah, it was a spike, but it's
Fair enough.
it's still fun to find.
Yeah.
I was out looking, just scouting one for turkeys, but also just looking for sheds too. And I had found a chewed up antler, and I was like, "Oh, coyotes!" So I know there's a ton around here.
Mhm.
And then, yeah, kept walking around, and eventually I found a little deadhead. Yeah, which is sad to see. Obviously, you don't want to find them like that. The coyotes got them, but
Mhm.
still a cool find.
Yeah, that's another thing going on right now, right? Is the coyote population has been booming. I know around here for sure. There's way more coyotes than like when I first moved here. Even 7 or 8 years ago, I would hardly ever see one. Now it's like they're everywhere. You can hear them at night, and I guess they've got to be eating something, right? So like I don't see a lot of turkeys around here anymore. I see turkeys around here all the time. So it's I don't know what's the solution there. Is it as I understand it, if you kill one, then the female goes into estrus, and then they have another litter, right? So Not sure what do you let nature sort it out, or what role do hunters have to play there, especially with these kind of predators that are devastating these populations?
Realistically, one hunter's not going to even put a bit of a dent in them. Um, like up here, we've got guys that run dogs, and they're shooting, 60 to 80 coyotes in a winter. And I know the one group, they hunt 4 concessions, and they're shooting 60 coyotes out of 4 concessions. Like, yeah, it's pretty hard for one guy to go out and just run a call and kill, a couple. You're gonna help, but
Uh-huh.
yeah, they're definitely an issue. Um, I only see you have to bring the bounty back on them, and let guys actually make some money off of them instead of um, doing it
Having to
for
buy
fun, because that's
tags.
the only way you're gonna catch up to the coyote population.
Yeah. I don't think you should have to buy tags for that either. I think it's stupid.
Yeah, see where I am, it's just small games.
So you got a small games license, you can hunt coyotes in your area.
You
Okay.
can't do that here.
Mm. Yeah, no, you just get small games, and that covers like, yeah, your coyote would be your biggest. Like, it's covered under your small game.
Good to know. Yeah, I gotta keep trying to convince the landowners to let me just go out there for like a weekend or two and plug some coyotes.
Mm-hmm.
They're really
Yes.
bad in that area. It's insane.
I think the other issue too is like the trapping industry, right? Like the trappers used to make a lot of money off coyotes, right? Guys used to sell it to Canada Goose, used to use coyote fur on their hoods and everything, and now it's all synthetics. It's kind of killed that industry going with synthetics, and I don't know if that's, in my opinion. I think real fur it's nicer. I think it's better.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, to me it's more environmentally friendly. To be quite honest with you, like
Oh, yeah.
everyone talks about
It all started with like fox fur, right? All
yeah.
these people don't hurt the foxes. It's like sure, okay, but then now you're trying to get rid of all fur, and it's like, well, there is some that is almost necessary, you
Oh,
know,
yeah.
Almost.
like you got
The
to keep the
populations.
balance in check. Like people forget that humans are predators too. I think
Well, and
people
the thing
forget that.
is a lot of people think, well, what the population control itself, but they're not realizing that when that population is overpopulated, the way that those animals die,
Hmm.
they don't just curl up and go to sleep. They're literally starving to death.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
it is
yeah.
not a good situation where, as a hunter, we take that animal out with a clean shot.
Hmm.
It's very quick. It's very humane.
Hmm.
It's one of those things, like, you have to look at the other side again.
Yeah, do you want to see them die of disease, starvation, or mange, or do you want to see them,
Yeah.
have yeah.
For me personally, I'd rather see them, have an arrow go through his heart and, walk over and he doesn't know what's happening. He's just getting sleepy and falls over
Hmm.
versus, drowning in a pond because it has a brain disease. Like, no.
Yeah, just don't walk up to it and start poking it with your knife. That's fucking wild. Did you see that video, Dale?
Mhm.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah.
So on to happier topics. I don't know if you guys watched. There was I think it's MFJJ and Brandon McDonald. We're interviewing George Riles,
I haven't seen it
and
yet.
and he was
I'm
talking.
like 3/4 or a quarter of the way into that one.
And so I guess they were talking about how, and this is where we get up into setting up a hunting bow, but how target archery can help your hunting or your bow hunting. And I think George Riles pretty much said it best. Like he has a set of videos called The Big Four, and it talks about it's basically form. It's all form issues, right? And he's saying if you've got good form, it doesn't matter what kind of bow you got, it doesn't matter what kind of setup you got, whatever you're gonna shoot well. But but obviously we want our bows to be forgiving and that sort of thing. So what differs in a hunting setup from for you personally, Dale? It's like how is your hunting setup different from your target setup?
Well, one, no lens. I have a completely different sight. It's a black gold dual track. So it has 2 pins that have set at 20 and 30, and then if I need to adjust after that, I can just roll it out to, however far I need to. I with hunting, I keep it simple, stupid. I don't, do fancy things. I don't have fancy lights on my bow. It's, you know, bare minimum. I have a sidebar and a front bar on it because I've just shot that for years. And a drop away rest, and yeah, make sure that everything's tied in very well. And yeah, because it's gonna take a beating. Like my bear that I shot, like well, we had to drag that thing through some crap, and um, yeah, my nothing moved after that. Like I came home and it still shot perfect.
Mm,
So
nice.
um, yeah, I just make sure everything's tied in really well, and yeah, you don't need the most fancy equipment for hunting. Everybody thinks that, oh, I need that new bow because it's 3 feet per second quicker than my old one. It, we were just talking about this at 3D practice last night. Me and Dave, like, I can remember when it was a big thing when the first bow hit 305 feet per second, and everybody was just oohing on. I think my bow at that point was going to about 260, 265, and still shot deer.
Well, and
Um,
also that gets back to kind of the technology versus being a woodsman, right? So,
mhm.
right, I think that was another thing they were talking about. Taking long shots. You go to tack to take all these long shots, but when you're going whitetail hunting, you're trying to get within 20 yards
Mhm.
to kill this thing, right? Because it's more of a badge of honor if you can get in there, 10 to 20 yards.
Yeah, but for me, like I practice at long distance all summer. Like I'll practice at 80, 90 yards just because when that deer's at 20 yards, it's a chip shot.
Mm-hmm.
Like it just, oh, he's right there, whack.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, like I've shot one deer at 52 yards. Everything else was under 30. So I don't really take a whole lot of long shots. I don't hunt the field a whole lot. Typically my spot's 50, 60 yards off the field edge.
Okay. And are you, I guess, are you using fixed or mechanical?
So I use mechanical. I've shot rages for probably 15 years. So I have the hypodermics, and yeah, it puts one heck of a hole in them.
And are you using it because it's easier to tune than a fixed, or is it just, you just prefer those?
I want to put a big hole in them. Like
That's fair.
that's the thing. It gives you that margin of error that my bear, like I didn't hit him perfect, and if I didn't have a good sized broadhead, I would made it a lot harder. But yeah, like if I'm putting a arrow that raged through the top of his heart into his lungs, he's only going 30, 40 yards. Um, you know, and it's quick. Plus, it's a lot easier to track them when they bleeding like that. Yeah,
When
switchblades
sorry,
have
go
their
ahead.
place, I guess, for certain animals.
When you're setting up your bow, you doing any broadhead tuning still, or is it?
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah. No, I have a bunch of the practice tips
Okay.
from Rage that don't even shoot my field points. I put those on, and that's what I sight in with.
All right on. Okay.
So, and then I have 3 extra Rages that I always shoot them before the season, so I know exactly where they hit. Because even the uh, mechanicals don't always hit right behind the pin or with the field points.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
My beast broadheads were actually pretty close at 30.
Mhm.
I think there were like 2 inches left originally.
Mhm.
And then when I got out to like 45, there were like 6 inches left. So
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
moved the rest a little bit.
You always got to shoot your broadheads and sight in with them. To think that if a mechanical is going to fly the same as a field point is kind of funny to me because it's a way bigger area.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know,
And you run like on your fletching, you're running a helical or a
yeah,
offset. Yeah.
yeah. I run like a 4 degree, um, and yeah, it's all stuff I've played with over the years. Like if I'm running blazers, I'll do a 2 degree. They don't really. I don't see any benefit doing a big helical on blazers. But anything like an A Max Hunter, yeah, I do a 4 degree on that. And the biggest thing with that is make sure that your bow shoot it with just a knock at like 3-4 yards, see which way it's turning so you can fletch your arrow accordingly.
Okay. I'm going to have to show up to the Martin Ranch to give me a hand on doing something.
So if you don't, like if say your bow likes a right-hand helical and you put a left-hand helical on, you're essentially that first 5-10 yards, you're throwing a knuckleball.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So the arrow is fighting the helical, and
Yeah, Chris, you and I will make a little road trip up to the Martin Ranch.
it's a dangerous place.
We were there. We were there Monday, Ramesh. I gotta say, it's worth the trip to Gowinston. It's quite the property. It's the outdoor bar. Delicious. It's amazing. Totally amazing. And Dale's wife is very welcoming, and the food there was incredible. We had venison smash burgers, and it was good. It was an awesome experience. So we got to shoot. We got to shoot in his backyard. So
yeah,
cool.
Chris
sounds like a total blast.
It was a blast.
Well, it's a 2-hour drive for me, and it took me 2.5 hours to get home today from work. So I think I'm used to the drive already.
Yeah, you're fine. Yeah, Chris might have lost an arrow that night. Yeah,
not for missing, not for missing.
No,
Dale put an arrow through my arrow at 40 yards.
At 40,
and split it like clean in half.
Jeez.
Almost all the way from tip to knock.
Well, that's what happens when you shoot with the shooter, man.
Put it in that spot.
Joke's on you. It was an 8 anyways.
Yeah. Then we were shooting the turkey's head at 40 yards. And
yeah. I think
lots of fun.
Josh Webb did that to me one time. It was the first time I went to shoot 3D with him at Royal City too. Smashed one of my arrows. I'm like,
nah.
Because I put it, we were shooting IBO, and I put it dead center, and he was like, "Oh, that's a good spot." Boom. And I was like, "Son of a bitch!" I was running pin knock, so it was not. He just smashed my knock and cut one of my fletchings off. But yeah, Dale, this one.
Benoit did that to me at one of the FDC events last year.
Like is that?
Yeah,
it was. I think. The one year Josh had a picture on Facebook, and I think he was down like 6 or 7 arrows that day from us just taking his knocks off and fletchings and everything. Like it was just a bad day to be an arrow, but it was me, Josh, Daniela, and Dave Schneier in a group. So
it'd be fun. Yeah, you guys are bound to lose a couple arrows with that kind of group, man.
Yeah,
that's good shooters.
Come on.
Yeah, the middle was crowded.
Yeah, I bet. So there's a few targets where it's just like, all right, let's one person shoot and then go pull, because I'm not trying to like the frog with the 12 ring size of a dime.
Yeah,
you shoot that, go get your arrow. I'm not trying to.
Yeah, carnage is welcome.
Well, and that's where the ASA game comes into play, right? It's nice to be able to aim off of the center. So once you fill that bottom one, aim top. So, but so let's going back to bow setups and bows. If tomorrow I said, I got $2,000, so where should I spend my money first?
Hey folks, the Letdown podcast has teamed up with Stray Suns Co., a Southern Ontario-born hunting apparel brand bringing high-quality gear to our fellow Canadian hunters. New tees, hats, and hoodies released every month. Use code LETDOWN15 to save 15% at checkout. That's LETDOWN15. All caps, to save 15% at checkout.
You already have a bow?
There's a lot great budgetary pricing. The industry right now, there's lots. There almost every bow company has a budgetary bow out there that is really good. Even with Bowtech, they have the Diamond Y. It's a great starter bow. But yeah, you can get in for $2,000. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't spend more of that on the bow. I would probably buy used. Buy something a couple years old when guys like Misha buy their boat or trade them up, and
I'd say go buy an older bow before you buy like one of the entry level bows. Older flagship over budget bows for sure. Yeah.
And Like what about rest? Like a QAD?
Drop away 100%. Name brand, doesn't really matter. Like, obviously, if my Bowtech side, you have to shoot ripcord. But long as it's working properly, put the felt on it so it's quiet. Nothing drives me bonkers of watching hunting videos and you hear the rest come back and it's like, oh geez, like, yeah. So, yeah,
Sight. What are we looking at for sights? Like we fixed pin.
you can do fixed pin or movable. It's kind of personal preference there. For hunting, I won't go over a 3-pin. 5-pin's too crowded. Gives you too much to look at, especially in the a moment that you have a big deer walkout or whatever. It goes back to that keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah.
You're only
Yeah.
shooting 40 yards. You don't need 5 pins to shoot 40.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
I think for $2,000, you can get a pretty good setup if you buy used equipment entirely.
oh yeah.
I agree. Yeah,
Like,
totally.
my V3X, I sold it for $900.
Mhm.
Right, so that's $900. There's a solid bow. It's not super outdated. Still shoots great.
Mhm.
You can get like a black gold sight, $200. Right, so now you're at 1,100.
Yeah.
Then for an arrow rest, if you want to do like a quad HDX, I've seen them like for 100, $150, or you can go like a brand new ripcord. What are those, like 250?
Yeah, 250 to is a good starter for the max.
Right.
Oh.
Okay. And then what's next? Stabilizer. You
Yeah,
can get a 10-inch Torx stabilizer,
Yeah.
hunting stabilizer.
Yeah.
You don't really need a back bar.
No.
You
And
can
you can
get
get a lot of that stuff used too and still in good condition.
Well, yeah, like realistically, if you really wanted to, like I know, like I go to Shooter's Choice quite often. You could go in there for $1,500 and get a really
Mhm.
nice hunting bow completely set up.
For sure.
For $2,000, you could probably get your arrows and broadheads and a case and a target.
easily.
So,
Yep. And then try different releases.
Mhm.
yeah.
And like go to your bow shop, and I know Shooters has a whole bucket full of used releases that if you go to shoot or to test out a bow, you can use whatever one of those releases you want.
Mhm.
And
Well, they'll
then
leave
if
it
you
open
like the bow, you like the release there, you already have 2 of the items that you need.
Well, shooters will even open up a package, a new package, and let you try the new one. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's pretty good there. Like if you have a good local shop like that, that's and the other thing I recommend too is if you know a guy who hunts with a bow, take him with you.
Mhm.
Take him with you. He kind of knows what he's looking for. He kind of knows what he already likes, and depending on the person, it could be good or bad. But a lot of times, if it's if you have a good friend who's into hunting, and that going back to Tony Markick's point, we should all be looking for a friend to take out hunting. Just get them out there and introduce them to the sport, so they get them addicted to archery and then 3D, and there you go. We got another
And all of a
competitor
sudden
out
they're
there.
broke.
How do you stop people from getting into drugs? Get them into hunting.
Yeah.
No
You
money.
can't afford drugs.
I keep trying to like get my girlfriend into it. I'm like, come on, like, what if you like it? She's like, if I like it, we'll have no money at
Mhm.
all. She's like, I'll stick to my books because that's a fixed price. I'm like, all right, it's fine. It's like,
Yeah.
but I can get a used bow for you, no problem.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm. Yeah, but then she's gonna shoot you, and then that's gonna be detrimental to you.
There
So
you go.
yeah,
Trust me,
My
I know.
mental health.
I know all about that.
Yeah.
Trust me.
yeah.
It's really bad for your ego.
Yeah. Chris had a full brown beard before.
For
I'll search.
Oh my god, that.
Well,
Yeah.
speaking of which, I actually found one of Al's arrows.
Oh, did you?
It hit the bottom of the target.
She missed too.
Yeah. We'll
Did
we'll let you say that about Val. Sure.
But I was asking if she missed, which rarely ever happens. So I'm gonna say that she sighted the bow.
You keep on backpedaling, buddy.
Digging the fucking grave here, just shoveling.
Yeah, so getting back to kind of George's point about just be a good bow hunter and it's about being a good archer. Basically, is kind of what he was saying in that 3 hour YouTube segment. How do you prepare for hunting season? Practice wise.
That's a big one. Is shoot all summer. That will help a lot. Don't just pick up your bow 3 days before the season and expect to shoot 2-inch groups at 40 yards. I don't know if they still do it or not, but down in the US they had a thing where to get your bow or your deer license for bow, you had to prove yourself. And you had to shoot a pie plate at, I think it was like 30 yards, and you had to put three arrows in that pie plate just to get your license. And
that's where that comes from.
Yeah. And yeah, it was a great thing realistically, because it stopped people that just go out and fling arrows at animals.
Yep.
Well, it's funny because I had a guy when I first started as a membership chair at Royal City. He came in and he said he wanted to hunt, and I said, "Oh, how long have you been shooting for?" He said, "Oh, I just bought this bow today," and it was like 2 weeks out of deer season. And I'm like, I think you should wait a year. Like, probably go back to shooters, grab yourself a crossbow if you really need to hunt going out with an arrow. Grab yourself a crossbow and do it that way. And so he did that, and he actually did get a whitetail that year. So he thanked me for the advice, and he learned to be a better archer. And yeah. Then
I don't think people realize how difficult it is to get decent archery.
And then
it's funny. Sorry, go ahead, Dale.
I said, then you got myself that my goal this year is I'm going to try and shoot my first whitetail with a recurve.
Wow.
That'd be cool.
We gotta get photos of that.
Yeah, that would be cool.
So yeah, I got some Magnus single bevels that I'm going to use. And
that's so cool.
So, but yeah, I'll probably...
You need a cameraman?
Sure. Come on out.
Yeah, I'd love to film that, dude. Seriously, that would be...
Yeah, we'll take you up on the tree saddle.
Boy, not a saddle. Oh, God.
Boy. That's another thing people should do to prepare for deer season is shoot out of your platforms.
For sure. I agree, yeah.
Get used to it, man, because, it's completely different.
Yeah. Kind of takes us into our next segment here about stand placement. What makes the perfect tree for a stand?
It's near something that the deer need.
That's a big question. So one, it has to have good back support so you can, you're comfy.
Fall asleep.
So I've been saddle hunting. I can't remember. It's been like 19 years or something like that. And yeah, for me, I like a bigger tree, something that is kind of as wide as my shoulders, but I've been in trees that are the size of my forearm.
Oof.
But yeah, placement. The biggest thing with trees is find the cover. You're not gonna shoot a deer when you're 10 feet up in a maple tree. I don't care if it's this big around. If you have no back cover, you're not gonna have anything. You have to have back cover. I've been 10 feet off the ground, and deer have walked right underneath me because I had enough cover that they couldn't see me. Yeah, and then shot play. You have to be able to shoot out of the tree, whether you're cutting lanes or what have you. But you have to be able to shoot. You have to see trails, whatever you're hunting over.
And to Misha's point too, practice out of whatever stand you're using doesn't matter. Just practice out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Practice getting into it as well. That's the other thing. Like don't just buy it the one day and then set it up the next.
No.
Yeah, learn especially if you're saddle hunting, please, for the love of God, learn how to use it properly. And learn how to set it up properly.
Yeah.
And check your ropes over and check your saddle over. Oh my God, please do that, because if you don't, you're going to fall out the tree. And if you fall out the tree, you're going to land on your neck and you're going to die.
I think my fear is I'm just too fat to be in a saddle. I don't know. It's just scares the crap out of me. I'm scared enough to be in a tree stand.
Bring a hang on. I'll put a hang on over top of me.
There you go. Yeah, I have a hang on. So
if Josh and I can hunt out of the same tree, I'm pretty sure you and I can hide in the same tree.
One thing is, that's just one thing I want to start trying too is filming some of this stuff. Like we do a lot of cool stuff and nobody gets to see, right? So I just think get out there.
That's
and
why I got my action camera this year. Filming a bunch of stuff.
Very nice. Very
It's
good.
working so far. I don't feel comfortable bringing my camera up in the tree because I don't have a sturdy enough camera arm
Okay.
that connects to the tree.
Mhm.
And I have one that I can put my phone on, and I'm comfortable doing that because the phone's light.
Mhm.
I don't feel comfortable putting my camera up there.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
Especially 'cause it's twice the price.
you can get great video with your camera nowadays, anyways, right? So
But yeah. Yeah,
So one thing that I seen camera companies that I've guided over the years for deer, they actually had a leash that it was a paracord leash that went from the camera and they screwed it into the tree. So that way, like even if the camera arm broke or it came off, that camera's not going to the ground.
just gonna smash into the tree.
Lesser of two evils.
unless the cord's short enough where it's not too much damage. But
I need
Yeah, well, buy a cheaper DSLR and take that in the tree and
no,
I say this,
phone
and my
does
wife won't let me take hers in the tree.
And Misha can't even afford a generator. I was going to afford a new DSLR cheaper.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Quit buying Matthews. Your old bow was fine.
Yeah. Wrong again.
Yeah,
Wrong again, Dale. Wrong again.
Here's a fun topic, guys. And I know and then a lot of the hunting industry would probably, or at least one segment of the hunting industry gets probably maybe cancel my show. But scent control is overrated.
It's bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't work. Play the wind.
Yeah.
Be smart.
Yeah.
Shit doesn't work.
Yeah. So this is the biggest thing that I learned. If you're hunting and you're hunting a field edge and that wind is coming directly into your face, that is a horrible situation because that wind, when it comes into that bush line, will come in and do this. So that wind is actually going out into the field, probably at 20, 30 yards. So you always want it cutting an edge. And yeah, it's one of the other reasons why I hunt 50, 60 yards in the bush. Your winds are a little bit more predictable.
Okay.
Yeah, it's tree stands are a love and a hate thing because the wind is a lot more unpredictable up there versus on the ground.
And what about I don't know, like the doe estrus or those other scents?
A bit. We can't use real stuff here in Canada, so I don't know how much it really works. I've tried it over the past, and I think it's more of a curiosity thing. They walk over and smell it. One of the things that I do to open up a scrape is I actually urinate in it, and yeah, that works just as good, and it's a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of those things. It's just a curiosity thing, and once you have deer actually using your scrape, you don't have to put anything into it.
Probably won't film that though, Dale. So just so you know.
I kind of figured. Yeah,
Try to keep
I'll cut out the first one.
Does your camera zoom in that much?
This one, no. I probably have to play with. I'd probably get another. Oh, jeez. Touche, sir.
The fuck that took you a sec.
Wow, man.
Yeah.
I didn't know where I didn't know we invited Wayne Woodcock back. Oh my god.
Yeah, here we go.
He just messaged me that one.
He just messaged you that one. Make fun.
He's listening in.
Make fun of Dale's manhood, please.
I didn't know this was live. Jeez.
Yeah.
That would have been a lot more funny if we had a chat section on the side of this.
It would actually. Yeah.
My God, just
one of these.
it.
Once I get some more viewership, I think live YouTube thing would be a lot of fun to have a bunch of us on and let people make fun of us. So, and then gear you never leave home without.
My bow,
your license.
Your tags. Do not forget your tags.
Yeah.
I can't. So besides your bow, obviously, what's what are some of the stuff?
I typically run pretty light. As long as you have everything to shoot your bow. Rangefinder is a big one. I'm not going to try and judge distance that accurately from a tree. That's kind of all I need. I don't use a grunt call. I can do it with my voice. As long as I have everything to make my bow shoot and a rangefinder to know how far it is.
Have you seen this fucking pet toy? It's a pig. And when you squeeze it, it makes a deer grunt.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I kind of want to get one to give it a try.
Yeah. Yeah, I seen a video. The guy had it on the side of his gun and he squeezed it. And
It's pretty good.
Oh.
Yeah.
What about snacks? What are your favorite snacks out there?
Oh,
turkey.
no.
Snacks.
I'm not a snack guy in the tree.
Gotcha.
Really?
I'm scarred from that. Like I had a lady years ago. I was guiding bear, and I'm on the backside of the tree because she was scared. And I'm sitting there, and I can hear this rustling, and I look around, and she's got cookies, and she had individually wrapped them in tinfoil.
Oh
My
Jesus!
gosh.
That's hardly noisy.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my God, what are you doing? And so
I'm hungry.
I try not to take food in the tree. Yeah,
Valerie's a big snack girl in the tree, so but she wraps everything in paper towels, so it's very quiet, very quiet. She'll so if she takes let's say she takes an energy bar or a protein bar, she unwraps it, puts it in the paper towel, puts it in her. She's she was made to hunt, that lady. So
Yeah. I'll do like granola bar, peanuts, and beef jerky is my favorite one to bring.
yeah, I'm with Dale. I don't take anything in the tree stand.
See, if I had beef jerky, and the rest of the day I'd be sitting and going, trying to get it out of my teeth.
I also bring a floss pick.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Yeah. Yeah. The one thing Misha's not taking it is Alaskan backpack with all his stuff.
I'm not wrong. I don't think I'm going to run a backpack this year. I don't think I need
going back to the fanny pack, are you?
Yeah.
You and my wife
Actually,
both?
a fanny pack is actually really useful for hunting. I don't know if anyone's ever tried it. It actually works. It's, if you just I have my bino harness, so I got my release, I got my grunt tube in there. I have my front pocket. I can put whatever I want in there. Then I don't know, my jacket has a lot of big pockets, so if I need to, I'll just put whatever stuff in there.
Nice.
But now, because I've got this fantastic thing, you guys probably seen me make a video on it, the Greystone Systems cleat system. So essentially I can attach my platform to my saddle, so one half goes on my saddle with the MOLLE strips, and the other half gets attached to my platform, and it basically just plops right on, and I can walk in with it, and it doesn't make a sound. When I'm climbing the tree, I can just simply pull it off and hang it. No more fucking with the carabiner and making rattling noises. I know he's currently working on one for sticks. So if you I carry 4 sticks. So if
I use a rope wad on my sticks. So
yeah. My sticks, I got the Latitude Carbon SS, so they buck their loud.
Yeah, I have the XOP aluminums, and they actually lock together. So I have them on my left side when I climb, so I can just take them off one at a time as I climb. So, and then for me with that stuff, it has to be quiet. I despise any noise when I'm climbing a tree,
because I can have them stacked together when I'm walking in, but the second I go to climb the tree, I gotta take them apart. So I wrap the first one around the tree, cinch it, and then I have one on my left side, and then I have the other 2 on my right side. So then the one with the 2 are banging together. So at one point, I just put it in my mouth, and I had 2 on my or one on each side.
Sight right there.
And I climbed up on the tree, and I just took it out of my mouth, and just tied it around, and didn't make any noise.
Imagine being a squirrel, waking up in the morning and watching that climbing a tree. Like,
just a fucking
Yeah.
He's chewing on something. What is he chewing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you're gonna sell those sticks one day, and there's gonna be chew marks on the center of
Teeth
them.
marks on it.
Yeah.
Christ.
Yeah, I'd be getting the stealth strips for that and quieting it down.
Have them on there. It's like the actual steps that you step
Are they
on.
hollow?
No, it's plastic injection. Dude, it sounds exactly like rattling antlers.
Dual purpose.
Yeah, dual purpose.
So as
Let
you're
me just-
climbing, you'll get the buck come in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah,
Here,
yeah. I don't know why. I like the sticks that lock together.
That's what I've got. I've got the aluminum XOPs. So yeah. Well, there you go.
Jeez.
Scared away deer for miles there on that
So
one.
look,
Yeah, no wonder you can't shoot deer. Your sneaking is like a
well, I got my box of arrows sitting there in front of these. So this is how I carry them in.
Mm.
Take that strap off. All right. And let's just say, like you already heard it, right?
You could rattle a deer in with those.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing. Dual purpose. But they are loud, right? So if I'm like,
Mhm.
if I have them, together like this, and I'm climbing the tree.
Oh my! No.
So I got to figure out a different way.
No.
You're not allowed to hunt with Dale, apparently.
No.
Not with that setup.
It's not that loud.
Yeah, okay.
Go.
I'm half deaf, and I could hear that.
I just turned about. How many people listen to this podcast? How many people listen to this podcast?
I think I've got 209 subscribers.
There you go. So Latitude just lost 209 customers.
Good job. Good job, Misha. You
Yeah,
just
so-
called me for a sponsorship too. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Uh,
So
I
I've
just-
used the XOPs for years, but yeah, the center step, it actually is your lock, so it locks to the one underneath you. So yeah, there's no moving, no nothing. And then yeah, with the rope mod, there's no steel to bang into the step or anything like that. So
I've got to get the rope mod for mine.
yeah.
it's cheap. You just buy the climbing rope from Amazon.
Okay. So I'm gonna put myself out there. I've never shot a whitetail before, so this year will be my first. I've tried. I've been out a few times to some of the public spots I've scouted and what have you. Just haven't seen any, or gotten the opportunity. But this year I've been invited to a deer camp and out in Harrow, Ontario. You guys might be familiar with Bruno Morin, so he's invited me out to his deer camp. So I'm pretty excited to try that out and
Nice.
hopefully bag one. So.
You should
Yeah,
get
well,
lucky.
I've got all my tags, so should be
Nice.
interesting.
Did you get a doe tag down there or just a buck tag?
Like did I get 2 does and a buck? I think. Yeah.
You have 2
Yeah,
doe
there's-
tags, really?
Yeah, there's a lot of you
Yeah.
can get a lot of there's a lot of deer down there apparently. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Shit. Well, I wish I knew that before I got my additional.
You
Oh,
can
wow.
still buy additionals.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many can I buy?
I think you're allowed up to 6.
I got one for 90, which is the original my MU that I hunt in, and then the additional was 92.
Okay.
Yeah,
think
where I
the
live, I'm
Harrow's
actually pretty
94.
lucky. I'm right on the edge of 3 WMUs. So
Cool.
Apparently, I can only get one.
yeah, I'll get an extra tag every once in a while, but yeah, one deer typically does this.
Nice. But just getting back to sorry here. I lost my place. Now we were talking about ethics earlier and practicing and being a good shot, but how far is too far when it comes to whitetail?
The gold standard's 40 yards. 40 yards and under is what you strive for. Obviously I've shot a deer at 52. That's my longest. It was kind of, situational. It was a very calm night and he was into my corn bait. So, he was chewing on corn and, you have something crunchy in your mouth, you can't hear a whole lot. And yeah, it allowed me to make that shot. But that's the only reason I could do that. Like, I wouldn't typically make those shots. But yeah,
So if he's-
gold
if-
standard 40 and under.
So in that instance, if he's not crunching on corn and just walking by, you're not taking that shot.
Not even close. No, I want him to, head down. I don't want them to be alert. If he's alert, I'm not even shooting 40. Realistically, it's 30, and I'm probably going to shoot him for about 25. So because he's going to duck into it.
Fair. And then the buck that got away. Does anybody have a good buck that got away story?
Just the one that passed me when I was on my phone.
That's gotta be. Let's hear yours first, Misha, because that's gotta be quite the story.
Not really. I was on my phone. I look up and he's right in front of me, and then takes off.
Were you watching TikTok? TikTok's a deer hunting.
No, I think I was watching. I don't even remember. I was on Instagram or some shit because I hadn't seen shit, and I was out there for 4 hours. I was like, all right, I'll take a break from my attention span. Give it a break and doom scroll for however long. And then out of the corner of my eye, I see something moving, and I look up, and there's that big 10 point that I saw on camera coming in quick, and I'm like, fuck. So I put my phone down or in my pocket, and then by the time I even like go to reach for my bow, he's now like in front of me, in front of the tree. And then by the time I like grab my bow, he's already fucking 20 yards to the right of me now. He wasn't running, he was galloping, so I'm assuming he was on a doe or something, but yeah,
He's trotting rather than galloping.
trotting, yeah, whatever, same shit. And then I think so. Yeah, I tried rattling back in, and he wanted no part of it.
No.
And then I actually saw an 8 point in the same spot, and I was doing the same thing. It's on my phone. But this time I was on my phone the entire time, and I looked up and he was like, fucking, where are you going? I'm like, oh, I wonder how close he was.
No less.
Looked at the cameras and he went right in front of the camera.
So going back to that, finding a good spot to hunt, Misha, maybe find a spot where there's no cell signal.
There. Yeah, probably. I probably would have never got him to stop anyways. That's what I tell myself so I can sleep better at night.
Yeah.
I mean, they were also pretty far. Like realistically, where he was that passed in front of me, it was probably about 45 yards, and it was through some branches and stuff, so I wouldn't have felt comfortable anyways. But it's still like maybe earlier, like when he was more to my left or more to my right. Whatever.
Or maybe if
gone.
you would have seen him at 60 and went, man, he would have maybe came in a little bit closer and you could have shot him.
No, I don't think so.
Well, I can honestly say I have never had a deer, sneak past me while I was just sitting there doom strolling. But
that's good news.
Yeah,
Give it time.
Yeah. It would probably be because I'm sitting there reading Misha's messages. How to what should I do now?
What not to do while hunting?
Yeah,
go on your fucking phone.
Yeah.
Don't do that. What else not to do? Don't listen to the Letdown podcast while you're hunting.
Yeah, well, or at all, really. Let's be honest. The only time you're learning anything is when Dale's on. So that's just otherwise.
Yeah. I had a couple, like obviously big bucks that have gotten away that other people have shot. The one that kind of irks me, I hunted this deer pretty hard, and he got shot in the gun season by some guys that just pushed the bush and shot him. But yeah, he was a 16 point.
Jesus.
Probably would have scored about 180, 185. And I seen him on the hoof a week before the season. I was scouting. I was standing in a cornfield watching this field, and he walked right out and was 150 yards away from me. And yeah, I never got to see him on the hoof during season. But yeah, that one stung. But yeah,
there's not much you can do about it, right? It's like
no.
Yep. Well, what's worse, losing it to gun season or losing it to like getting hit by a vehicle?
Guns. Oh, so the problem is gun guys. A lot of the guys that are around here, they push. So you don't have to be a good hunter to push bush. Like, yeah. So I really despise losing deer to the gun guys that do that. If you're one of these guys that, you have your tree stands up, you sit there all week and, the deer walks past, you shoot him, great. I'm all for that. But the pushing, I really despise pushing in southwestern Ontario. In the north, yes, you need to push, you need dogs in certain situations, but in southwestern Ontario, it shouldn't be something that we should be able to do.
Good ethical question, and another ethical thing there. Yeah, I find it a little odd to have to push, really, especially around here.
Well,
So little space and whatever, right?
I think
So,
because down here they do that because you can only shotgun.
Yeah.
In most MEs here, in municipalities, because it's so close quarters. So that's why they push.
but if you're in a tree stand with a shotgun, you're still gonna be able to shoot further than I can with my bow, right? So
Yeah, with slugs and stuff, yeah, absolutely. But I don't know, I think some guys are impatient and they just like, oh, there's 5 of us, let's just go push this bush, which is exactly what the property next to the property I hunt on does. This guy goes in there with like his 5 to 8 buddies and they push the property and then just shoot whatever fucking moves.
And the big thing for pushing, and it goes down to the ethics thing. 85% of the people out there don't practice running shots. So, they're just pulling ahead and shooting, and there's a lot of wounded deer with pushing. Again, inside slugs, you should not be able to use anything but slugs for deer. I've seen too many deer walking past me a week after the season and their front foot is, dangling because and a buckshot hit it, and yeah. So,
'cause I guess if you're pushing, then you're not shooting him when he's just standing still, right? He's just he's running.
They're running.
Yeah.
It's the easiest shot to make. I can vouch for that. So
No, and it's one of those things. Like up north, yeah, you have no choice. Like where my dad grew up, they ran dogs, and that deer was on fire when he was coming through. But you weren't really getting a whole lot of deer if you didn't do that.
right.
But yeah, down here you don't need to push deer. There is some groups around here that they're family groups, and yeah, there's like 20, 25 in a group, and they will push a whole concession.
Jeez.
So,
And this might be a dumb question, but they're getting a lot of deer then?
oh yeah, but realistically, 2 things I would love to see happen in Ontario is no pushing, or southwestern Ontario at least, no pushing. And then for the deer tags, I want to earn a buck program. So you have to shoot a doe before you get your buck tag.
Yeah. I just hope I get my antlerless draw this year because it would be 3 years in a row if I don't get it. And there's so many does around here. It's insane. The doe to buck ratio is fucking crazy. It's not even funny. I think at one point there was a group of 12 of them. 8 of them were like full grown does, and then the rest were like yearlings.
Mhm.
And it's like, this is insane. They were walking in a group, and I'm like, this is not fair. Like, they're right here. Why can I not? Just give me a tag, please. Pissed off.
Well, I'm gonna let's just let's close her up here, and with one final question. If you give one piece of advice to someone getting ready for their very first deer season this fall, what would it be?
Patience.
Prepare to be disappointed.
Yikes! Thanks.
Low expectations.
Yeah, well, I've had that for 5 years. So when it comes to whitetail and turkeys,
No, seriously though, scout.
Yeah.
Don't go in blindly to a place you've never been and hope you're going to see something. You're wasting your time.
Yeah.
Go in days before, scout the area, find a spot, mark it, and then go back there when you're ready.
Make sure there's good self signal. Yeah, it's for me, patience is a big thing. I don't hunt a lot. I hunt the right days. Yeah, I try not to overhunt a property because a lot of your best time is your first time in. So yeah, if you want to hunt a lot, find a public land or something you can burn, and just go in and hunt.
good advice. I think I think patience and lowered expectations and scout. So I think that's what I'll title this this episode. Anyways, guys, on that note,
Patience, low expectations, and scout.
and scout. Yeah. Anyways, on that note, thanks for coming out, Dale. Appreciate it. And there was a lot of good advice there, and hopefully for a lot of the even I think there's some stuff even some experienced guys can use. So and great for especially the first timers. Like it's and I remember when I first went out, it was like, again, like with YouTube, there's a lot of stuff you can research, a lot of stuff you can do, but there's so much information out there, it becomes a little bit overwhelming. I know one guy had like, you could buy a course on how to Google Scout, and it's like, I still have no idea how to do it. So, and, yes.
And one thing I've done for people in the past is, if they have properties that they don't know it's new, or even that they just need a second eye, I'm more than happy to come out and help them and walk the property and kind of give them a heads up of where to put stuff, and, at least a starter.
Right on. Right on.
So,
Huh. What a nice guy.
Yeah. All right, guys. Good
Perfect.
night. That was the Letdown After Dark. See you next time.